All right, let's dive into this AI and intelligence analysis thing. You've sent over some seriously interesting articles. You're clearly fascinated by this. And I have to say, I am too. Pretty mind-blowing
Yeah.
stuff. You know, what's interesting is that AI could be sifting through mountains of data, like forget writing screenplays or, booking appointments. It could be finding connections in data that would take us weeks or even months to uncover. And it's already happening. Like there's this article from the USI journal, Generative AI and Intelligence Assessment. And it talks about how agencies are already using AI to identify potential foreign agents just hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we're talking about a completely different way of doing intelligence work. I mean, think about the traditional intelligence cycle.
Yeah.
We define what we need to know, then we collect the data, then we got to analyze it, and then finally we try to get those insights to the people who make the decisions. AI has potential to completely change that.
Okay, so let's break that down. There's this report from the Center for Emerging Technology and Security. It's had a very official name,
Right.
but they do a really good job of explaining the intelligence cycle and where these AI tools could fit in. They argue that AI could make analysis so much faster and more rigorous, especially when we're dealing with huge data sets. I mean, algorithms can pick up patterns and trends in data that would make our heads spin.
And it's not just about, finding the needle in the haystack faster, which is obviously a big part of it. But AI, especially these large language models, these LLMs, they could totally change how analysts even approach their work. That RUSI article that we mentioned talks about how generative AI could be like this super-powered research assistant, like summarizing those really long reports that nobody wants to read or flagging weird stuff in data, anomalies, and even drafting the first versions of assessments.
That's amazing, but also kind of scary, right? It's like having an intern who's amazingly capable,
Yeah.
but also could accidentally cause a major international incident if you ask them to make coffee.
An interesting analogy, but it does highlight why this topic is both really exciting but also really important to get right. There's an article, Artificial Intelligence for Analysis, The Road Ahead, by Dennis J. Gleason Jr. And he argues that as great as AI is, it needs good data to work with. Like the intelligence community needs to clean up their data, structure it better, and really enrich it before they can fully use AI.
It's like giving a world-class chef a brand new kitchen, top of the line everything, but the only ingredients they have are stale crackers and instant coffee. Not a recipe for success.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how fancy the tech is if you don't have the right information to feed it. And that's where the human element comes in, that irreplaceable factor.
So we've got this partnership, this dance between human analysts and AI. But what happens when the AI spits out something that seems off? How do we make sure that human intuition doesn't disappear in this sea of data?
That's a great question, and it's something that Gerald M. McMahon talks about in his report. It's called Analytic Tradecraft Standards in an Age of AI, and it's for the Belfer Center. He says that even with all these cool new AI tools, analysts can't just rely on them blindly. We need what he calls analytic integrity.
Okay, so analytic integrity, what does that mean, like in real terms when we're talking about AI?
It means asking the hard questions even, and maybe especially when it seems like the AI has it all figured out. Can you actually explain why the AI came to its conclusions? Like,